What's up guys, how's it going? Happy holidays. I'm Dan Langan, this is Baking with Dan, and today I'm sharing with you another holiday baking favorite, and that is my recipe for red velvet cookies. Everyone loves that red velvet flavor, and because of the bright red color of them, they're perfect for the holidays. So let me just show you everything we're going to need to put together my red velvet cookies. In my mixer bowl I have some brown sugar as well as some light brown sugar. I have 4 ounces of unsalted butter that I've just melted just until it was liquidy in the microwave. I have some softened cream cheese, 1 egg yolk. I have some cider vinegar, some vanilla, and some red food dye. And then for my dry ingredients, I have some all-purpose flour, baking soda as well as salt, a little bit of cornstarch, some high-quality Dutch processed cocoa, and I also have some white chocolate chips. I'm going to take my all-purpose flour, I'm going to add my cocoa powder, I'll add my salt and my baking soda, and we're using baking soda here because the vinegar in the recipe will react with the baking soda. It's going to give our cookies a rise and it's going to enhance that chocolate flavor. And then I also have a little bit of cornstarch, and I'll give them a whisk to combine them. So to start the mixing here, I'm going to start with both of my sugars in the mixer, and I'll add my cream cheese first. And I like to start with just the cream cheese and sugar to make sure I don't end up with any lumps of cream cheese in my batter. So I'll mix this on low and then raise it up to medium to get the cream cheese and the sugar nicely combined. So once I don't see any lumps of cream cheese, I'm going to add all of my melted butter. So once this is silky smooth, in with 1 egg yolk. So now it's time to add our vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons here for a nice bright vanilla flavor in these cookies, a teaspoon of cider vinegar, and then of course we need some red dye, right? So just liquid red food dye, 2 teaspoons here. Already have that beautiful bright red color. And then in with all of our dry ingredients. So at this point I'll add in my white chocolate chips. And I like to roughly chop these up. I think it looks a little more rustic and you get a bit more of a white chocolate bite in every bite because the chips are chopped up. Good. So once this comes together, we'll have a fairly stiff dough here. What I like to do at this point is scoop the cookies out onto a parchment-lined tray and then refrigerate them for about an hour. We need to re-solidify the fat since we started with melted butter, and then at that point we can bake them. If you want to make smaller cookies, by all means you can. A larger cookie scoop will take a couple minutes more to bake. So my red velvet cookies have had a nice chill in the refrigerator. They've solidified up nicely, so I'll transfer these to another parchment-lined baking sheet. And I'm making larger cookies, so I want to make sure I leave enough room in between the cookies for them to spread. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees for these cookies. But if you find that your oven runs a little hot, if you find that your cookies bake fairly quickly, you may want to turn the knob on your oven down to 330 because this recipe is designed for chewy, soft cookies, so you certainly don't want to overbake them. So space your cookies out on the tray, give them a bit of room to spread, flatten them down just a touch. So I'm going to pop these cookies into my oven. If you're making smaller or average sized cookies, you'll want to bake them for about 12 to 15 minutes. These larger cookies may take about 16 or 17 minutes to bake. And I'll know that they're about ready when they've spread, when they have a nice shiny, crackly top, and when the insides just look puffed up. So once my cookies are cooled, I'm going to take some mini chocolate chips, because red velvet is kind of chocolate after all, and I'm going to take some melted white chocolate and drizzle it over top. So since these cookies are nice and big, what I like to do is just take a little pinch of these mini chocolate chips on top of each cookie, and then I have some melted white chocolate. You could use white chocolate chips or coating chocolate, and I'll just drizzle right over top, and this white chocolate is going to add some contrast against that deep red. It's also going to hold the mini chips in place. These are really going to add some pizzazz to any holiday cookie tray you're putting together. Definitely eye-catching cookies. So with their bright red color, chocolate flavor, and slight tang from that cream cheese, these red velvet cookies are definitely a favorite of mine, especially during the holidays. So if you're looking for a recipe to share with your friends and family and kick up that holiday dessert table, check out the recipe for these red velvet cookies on my blog, bakingwithdan.com. If you guys have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Baking with Dan on YouTube. And until next time, happy holiday baking and stay sweet.